and we'll see if we can when these racers start going, and we'll get into the fourth match of round 2 here.
Yeah, and right away over on JSR side, we do actually have a shuffled start screen.
Shuffled start screen starting near the desert.
However, that is a shop, so we might possibly have unshuffled caves. We will see here shortly as both of these players are making their way toward start to check that wood sword cave.
Yep. And DarkRupy famously playing as a DarkRupy.
Yeah, fantastic sprite. Sometimes a little bit confusing, but
yeah.
You always know who is playing. And also, well, it looks like we have got a wood sword, but no extra candles this time around.
All right. You are quite a bit ahead of me. I'm not sure if you're ahead on the chat, but yes, I do see JSR getting the both racers getting the wooden sword cave, and it looks like JSR is going to see about drop groups potentially.
Yeah, we don't have a shuffled overworld enemy set either, and I'm almost positive by seeing a hint there that we do not have a shuffled overworld. So we should be seeing all of our dungeons in their normal locations. Now the question will be first or second quest.
Yep, that looks to be correct. We'll know more when JSR goes around, and DarkRupy's looking like they're going that way. But at least the finding of the candle won't be too difficult for everybody, since DarkRupy's already found one. And it was 48 rupees, which was actually fairly cheap overall.
Yeah, that's definitely nice. And a bomb drop for DarkRupy. It looked to be off of a blue or Octorok. So
was enemy HP shuffled? No.
Haven't been paying full attention to that.
Okay. Okay, I gotta jump way ahead. Okay.
Okay, I should be synced up now. It looks like we do not have 0 HP enemies for sure, as Blue Octorok did take more than one hit. I'm not quite sure if we've got normal yet, but it does look like JSR has made his way to level 1, and it seems like we're going to have a vanilla overworld.
It does seem that way. I'm surprised that he went to level 1 instead of level 3 when he was already over in that area. But I mean, level 1 has 2 items. It's not bad. We do have a shuffled dungeon palette here. And definitely shapes is going on. So we got DarkRupy going into level 3 and immediately finding Zelda's room. So that gives us something interesting.
Yeah, that's super nice to find early, actually.
Yes, so now we know that Ganon and Zelda are going to be out of their rooms. We have shuffled dungeon rooms between dungeons. JSR opting out of level 1 here, making his way to the forest.
He ran into 3 key doors and could not find a key drop, so it looks like shuffled HP. So we have randomized enemy HP this seed, so that should prove to be interesting.
Okay. Yep, that sounds pretty good. I've got them both right around the that little bit behind that. It's great. All right, so JSR is going to explore the forest and try to maybe go down to level 2, and this will maybe give us our first hint of if we're dealing with straight first quest or second quest or mixed. I couldn't remember. I didn't see on DarkRupy's side what level 3 actually looked like. Oh, and we got first quest level 2 location there. So it looks like it was probably first quest, I think.
Yeah, definitely first quest. Otherwise, that would be a lake. That's one of those guaranteed spots that will be a second quest lake. So
yep.
Should be no overworld searching for these guys for the most part. As you know, there shouldn't be anything to find. And right off the bat, we have what proves just to be a helpful hint here. And we just saw a community hint earlier, so it seems that we have got mixed hints this time around.
Oh, you saw a community hint before? I did not see a community hint.
The cave east of level 3 that normally contains a hint had a community hint.
Oh, okay, interesting. All right, so DarkRupy searching around, exploring some caves. I'm not sure if he hasn't realized yet that this is sort of non-shuffled cave locations. But JSR into going through. And searching for the item or the Triforce, we're going to get a look to see... Ooh, look at that shape right there.
Definitely a cactus.
We're going to see if we have the Triforce in the Triforce room. That'll help out our runners in kind of navigating. And a pretty decent pickup for JSR there with the wand.
Yeah, definitely something that you don't scoff at when you have one of these randomized HP seeds. And does find that compass real quick, and it's going to head right over the Triforce. And a heart on the way to boot.
Oh, nice. So yeah, he's got everything he needs out of level 2 after exploring maybe half of it, so that's really good.
Unfortunately, the Wall Masters right before going down to the Triforce room.
Yeah, the early wand pickup with it gives him more firepower, and especially in a random HP seed, it's going to be quite nice. And the Triforce in the Triforce room, so that helps a lot with navigation as well.
Yeah, it makes it very easy to track down those Triforces, especially when, at this point, you know, they need some items, but you're looking for those specific item rooms, and then after that, I just got to find a Triforce. So you're looking for stairs, and you're looking for Triforces, and outside of that, you don't have to kill anything, and with the randomized HPC, that's a pretty big time saver.
Yeah, I agree. All right, DarkRupy picking up another heart container. So he's got 5 hearts. That's actually pretty important. We haven't seen if the white sword item is shuffled or not, but that puts him in good position to pick up the white sword item, whether it be a white sword or not. There's still a possibility that it could be 6 hearts if the hearts are shuffled for picking that up, but we'll hopefully figure that out pretty soon. JSR into level 1 again?
That is correct. And yeah, he had 5 key doors to choose from. I have to think that he's going to go up here and, you know, maximize his potential for his keys. One, unfortunately, in Shapes has the ability to have a ridiculous number of key doors, along with level 8. So
especially when it's kind of linear like this, you know, you got half the dungeon with one path basically. So it's it can be really challenging when you don't have bombs or keys.
And a raft, which is not great, but always nice to have in your repertoire.
Well, you do need it in this seed,
I guess so.
more than likely.
Correct,
so if level 4 will be where level 4 is, you do need the raft. So that is a really nice find. He's only for requirements. He really only needs the power bracelet now. Sorry, the recorder to open up level 7.
Yes, my apologies. My seeds are bleeding together. I've got a lot of commentary today.
It happens.
See him go down. He's going to be looking for the item on the ground here before he heads on out. I'd assume he'd bomb up before taking the Triforce.
Yeah, level 1's so small. He's going to go as far as he can to get this extra item.
And DarkRupy getting tech-tided, unfortunately, in the overworld.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not a good death up there. DarkRupy exploring a lot of caves. It's very interesting. Don't know if, like I said, I don't think he's actually figured out that this is not shuffled. I don't know how much of the regular game that he plays, and that could be a big factor in this, like the vanilla game.
Yeah, but you'd think you'd have a tracker of something of some sort available, and we do run into 0 HP enemies, and he did pick up the item, but I did miss what it was.
It was the red candle.
Okay, so not a bad find, actually.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a candle yet. I don't think either player has a candle yet. DarkRupy picking up an early potion. Interesting. JSR finishing up level 1. And I wonder if he's going to go down towards level 3, or if he's going to kind of make his way over to something like level 8 now, or even level 4, because he has the raft.
Tough call. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, everything in this case is up to routing. Looks like he's going to make his way over towards level 4, which he's already in this area, so that's not necessarily a bad choice.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, because then he can do level 4 and level 3, and then potentially level 8 and 5 kind of on the eastern half of Hyrule.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, you would want to find a ladder in 4 or 3, and then you could just world wrap, do 8, head up to 2 and 5.
Absolutely. That's a good point.
Actually, he's already got 2, but you know what I mean. He just maximizing your overworld potential versus, backtracking consistently. But taking a look at DarkRupy's side, it does seem that he perhaps does not know that the overworld isn't shuffled, which is going to cause him to have a pretty large disadvantage in this race.
I agree. He found level 1 and pieced out pretty quickly because he did not have any keys as well. So he's out of keys, out of bombs, and making his way towards the Lost Hills. JSR entering level 4.
And we have got Wizrobes. Easy to kill Vires, though, which is important to note for bomb droppage, as it doesn't seem we have shuffled drop groups.
That is true. Vires normally a 4-hit enemy down to 2 or 1 or 0, because the wand takes it right out. All right, DarkRupy heading up to level 5, up the mountain, and we're gonna get our first glimpse of level 5 when he enters this. JSR is still trekking through level 4.
We do get a hint that the magic key is ladder blocked, which is interesting.
Huh. We don't know what the coast item is yet. Nobody's gone out to the coast yet, and we don't know if the white sword item has been shuffled either.
Edgy pointed out in chat that DarkRupy did go into level 3, but it turned out that it was recorder blocked by a dig dogger, or perhaps maybe a bomb door that he hadn't found, but there was a block there of sorts.
Interesting.
Anybody keeping count?
All right, so JSR finding blue Wizrobes with a single block room. That could be the item here in level 4, since we know that the rooms are shuffled. But this wooden sword, blue Wizrobes, is difficult here. And white sword item is not shuffled, and it was picked up with 5 hearts from DarkRupy. So white sword in the normal location for the normal, at least, at most, the normal amount of hearts.
Indeed, and unfortunately clearing out that room and not finding an item,
Nothing.
at that point I might take the stairs, because that room will respawn, and just on the off chance this is a segmented dungeon, it might be worth taking those stairs, but...
I could agree with that. When it took that long to clear out, you don't want to have to do it again.
Yeah, and my guess is that blue Wizrobes are at least their normal HP, maybe 1 more hit. He put in about 4 or 5 and a bomb into all of those. So not as bad as it could be, but definitely not fun with a wood sword.
All right, DarkRupy picking up a blue candle and heading over to the Dead Woods area. And JSR taking a death in level 4 there.
That's tough with that room that he's got to clear again for those stairs. We might see him take a different direction or try, maybe. Meanwhile, it again just seems like DarkRupy does not quite understand that the overworld is not shuffled, as he is clearing every cave.
Yep, and 102, the big secret there. Not too bad. And yeah, he's just exploring like he would any other randomizer if we had shuffled caves for the most part. So that's going to cost him quite a bit of time in this race.
But yeah, indeed. And JSR, I think, making the wise choice.
Getting out of the Wizrobe dungeons.
Yeah, a little bit rough to deal with early on. He's going to grab himself a secret and a heart. Probably go check the White Sword cave. We'll be happy to see a White Sword, I'm sure.
I'm not sure if he's going to do that right now. I could see him either going to 8 or 5 first before doing that.
Maybe. I might go get the White Sword before walking into 5.
That's a good point. Yeah, you could still go up, and he goes for the letter. And DarkRupy actually heading over to level 6. And this is a dungeon I don't normally do as equipped as he is right now.
Yeah, and
it's Wizrobes.
Again, it looks like we've got our normal dungeon enemy stats. So 4 and 6 containing Wizrobes. And 6, as we know, again, we were talking about it last race. 1 through 5, 1 through 6, all are on the same, as you would say, piece of paper. And then 1 through 5 are generated first, and whatever's left over, that's what happens to be level 6. And so a lot of times it ends up being extremely large and very oddly shaped.
Yeah, 6 in shapes is a very difficult dungeon usually. It's usually the largest and worst to get through for sure. All right, so JSR heading over to level 5.
Orange Wizrobes do go down in 2 hits of the White Sword, so that is nice to note that they are not super buffed, at least.
And DarkRupy taking the stairs without taking the key that was in the room. He only has 1 key. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him a little bit. He left a key on the ground. JSR taking the White Sword now.
Yeah, I think wise choice after seeing some of the HP shuffles that we have in the seed, and I assume he's going to go. Nope, does not go back over to level 5. So, going to check out the hint cave. Interesting choice. Bow is ladder blocked.
Interesting. We still don't know what the coast item is yet. Nobody's gone down into that area to search it.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten the hint that 2 items are ladder blocked. So one of them could be on the coast, but another is definitely in a dungeon. So, you know, ladder obviously proving to be an important item again.
Yep, and as it usually is in the randomizers, whoever finds that ladder early usually has an advantage.
Unless your name is Amazing Ampharos.
That is true. All right, so JSR into level 5 now.
To answer your question, Cheap Safe, we had ran into a community hint earlier in one of the caves. And so with the mix of community plus helpful, it is mixed hints instead of deceptive. And the one here paying dividends for JSR, able to kill that Gibdo on the other side of the river, who unfortunately drops a bomb.
Drops the bomb that he needs. Oh man.
Orange Wizrobes have got more than their normal HP, so either 5 or 6.
Orange Darknuts. Yes, Orange Darknuts, so the red Darknuts do have slightly higher HP, 3 hits of the wand instead of 2 like normal. DarkRupy trying to go through 6 with Wizrobes, 6 hearts. Can be challenging for anybody.
Yeah, and luckily he's getting some bomb drops because, I mean, but he's using them on these Wizrobes and unfortunately not getting rewarded for it. And, you know, he's bombed that same wall 3 times. Not having a map is just, unfortunately, makes 6 very difficult.
True. JSR picking up a heart container as the item in level 5, so that means the coast item has been shuffled, and we know that the magic key or the bow said it was ladder blocked. So one of those items could be on the coast, awaiting for it.
Finds the bomb upgrade.
That is a nice find right there. His picking up of the secrets in the overworld as he was trekking along is paying off right there. I think he was probably banking on that as he was walking by. And the bomb upgrade, yeah, is not shuffled. That was a regular 100 that it is in the game. And both players picking up early potion and using it early. This is interesting.
I can't say that I disagree. You got shuffled, you know, HP and all this jazz, and you know that you've got unshuffled dungeons, and you've got to go in there with a wood tunic. A wood tunic, man, we're graduating. A green tunic and a wood sword. I mean, white sword in this case, but they could be difficult, and you know where everything is on the overworld. So if you're never gonna have enough hearts to get the magical sword anyways, unless you luck into them in dungeons. So maybe picking up a potion is not always a bad idea in that case.
True. And yeah, they already had enough hearts to get the white sword item for the most part.
So yeah, just trying to find the Triforce here at level 5. Generally doesn't end up being too large, but it can have some pretty odd shapes. And again, maps not being super prevalent sometimes in shapes makes resource management a little bit more difficult, unfortunately.
Indeed. I didn't see which dungeon DarkRupy had gone into.
But it is pink.
It is very bright pink. Did he go into level 8? I don't think so. I thought he was over in sort of in that area, but...
I would say yes with the enemy set that we have. It'd have to be 8. I think we've gotten to all the other Dark Nut dungeons, and from the look of what he's gotten to so far, it definitely looks like level 8.
Okay. JSR coming into the ladder block. He got at least one more room on the map to go to before he starts having to bomb.
Yeah, running into a ladder block, especially at level 5, which is a little bit of out of the way compared to the other dungeons to get to, is never fun.
Yeah.
Especially when you have to backtrack and then go through the entire place again to get to your Triforce. And he's not even located where it is at right now. So you still have to do some searching when you get in there, and it's never fun.
JSR trying to clear out this Dark Knight room, seeing if it's a staircase that may lead to more of level 5 here. Ooh, and unfortunately taking a death to Blue Dark Nuts, who are, I believe, actually a little less HP than they normally are.
Yeah, that's a tough room to fight in anyway.
Yeah, the reverse C is not fun, especially with Dark Nuts or Wizrobes. It can prove to be really terrible rooms sometimes.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate that he had to leave 5, but I think, again, it was the correct choice to bail. It looked like a ladder block. I think he feels like it's a ladder block. He'd already gotten the item, so he knows it's not in there.
Yeah.
Might as well make our way to other dungeons. It looks like he's going to try to go to level 3, perhaps, which, if the chat was correct earlier, it's actually recorder blocked. So maybe level 8 is the correct play, and we have a map here for DarkRupy.
That's true. I'd have to see, because DarkRupy went in really early, and I don't know if he had any bombs at the time, so I don't know how if it's actually completely blocked or not.
And a book.
Actually, JSR going back into level 4, and a book. Oh, book and 8. What are the odds?
And this isn't exactly a large level 8 either, if you look at the size, which means 7 is actually a little bit more daunting this time around, as it will be the mirror image of level 8.
And yeah, JSR now equipped with the white sword going back into level 4. He's got a little bit more firepower against the Wizrobes now, so he's going to try to clear this out.
Yeah, and he picked up 3 more hearts along the way as well, so not necessarily a bad choice. Pretty small dungeon, and you're looking for items at this point, especially the ladder. Meanwhile, DarkRupy's making pretty good progress through this dungeon so far, using bombs freely, which is never a bad choice. If you're low on hearts and you're low on your overall firepower, it's never a bad thing to use bombs to kill enemies, especially if you know what the drop groups are.
And at least he didn't run into another recorder block, because we did have a shutter door on a dig dogger, but he did find a path around.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, DarkRupy is no slouch when it comes to combat. He's got really good combat, so he's got no issues whatsoever, fighting enemies and such in this game. It just seems that perhaps he struggles a little bit with understanding the overall flag possibilities.
True.
But
it might just be his inexperience also with the vanilla game, potentially.
So that was a bomb upgrade. So if this is indeed level 8, then our bomb upgrade men are shuffled to other dungeons and just happen to be in level 5.
That is interesting. But at least the amount is not shuffled, right? That was still 100?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. All right, DarkRupy picking up another heart container and chugging along through 8 here.
Danny, we love you. We'll see you in 10 minutes. Always nice when you get a resident troll, but yeah, finally finding that bomb wall he's been looking for, and perhaps this is the staircase he needs here.
Yeah.
Wonderful blue land molas. Always love them.
I mean, land molas they pack a punch, and a very nice find on JSR's side of the recorder.
Yeah, kind of shrugs as it not being that great, but in essence, it's required for one.
True, he was probably wanting the ladder, but that at least opens up another dungeon that he can do. And unbeknownst to him, if level 3 is blocked, that opens up level 3 as well. So that's 2 dungeons that opens up for him because of that.
Yeah, indeed. Interesting to note that he did leave without getting the Triforce, so I'm not sure if the Triforce is ladder blocked, or if he just found the item and decided to obey and didn't think about it.
I'm not sure. I don't know what his choice was there, how much he explored and still had to explore. Because, yeah, I don't think he picked up the Triforce in there.
Yeah, so gonna have to backtrack to that dungeon as well, and those sort of things start to weigh on your mind when you've been into dungeons multiple times and haven't walked out with a Triforce. You know that you got to go back in and you're investing time and not seeing too much of a return, it can start to tax you a little bit.
Yeah, but he's going into 3 here. And we'll see what level 3 holds for us. There's the Dig Dogger block with the shutter door there.
Oh, indeed, yeah.
But he still has room to go. Oh, yeah, and that was Zelda's room. So it is, unless you can open up... Well, no, because he came in from the left. Unless he could bomb to the right around the Dig Dogger, that was a Dig Dogger block.
Yeah, I forgot about us finding Zelda's room there.
Yeah.
So, again, a good indicator for him that, okay, well now his entire mentality for level 9 changes seeing that room, because it's now been shuffled outside of level 9, which means Zelda can be anywhere.
It's true.
Ooh, and the Triforce right there, and he's gonna be like, well, I still need a ladder.
Definitely, he probably will keep going, especially with level 3 being, usually quite small.
Yeah, I feel at this point that level 8 really needs to have an item that matters, like the ladder for DarkRupy, as he has invested a crazy amount of time into this dungeon so far. It does look like he has finally located the final item, which ends up being the silver arrows, so that actually does pay off.
That is really good for him there. So silvers and red ring are outside of level 9. And that could be pretty interesting depending on what JSR finds and how he wants to go through level 8 when he gets to it, and if Ganon's actually required.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, again, as you were listed off those things, everything has to come in that direct order, right? It has to be Ganon's required, and it has to be that he skips the item. But if he gets into that mentality, it does find the ladder in level 3, so you give him a big fist bump there. That's what he's looking for. So you got to be thinking now, okay, well, yeah, I'd like to find the bow, but if he finds that before the silvers, again, the way that most of these seeds have been running is silvers are in level 9. So you get that mentality of, well, I may not need him anyway, so he just might head to level 9. And level 8's not a fun dungeon to go back to look in.
No, I agree. And depending on, I haven't really seen on DarkRupy's side where if he's found the Triforce room or not. And there it is. Okay, so he did find it, and it's fairly deep. So JSR to get to the Triforce room might have to go through and get an item. And at least by that point, he'll probably have explored quite a bit of level 8. So if it was me and I explored that much of level 8 and I had a few more rooms to do, I'd probably just search the rooms if I hadn't found both items.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it was right next to the silver arrow, so that might end up being a big part of it. But
exactly, Zarnax. Yes, the other item in level 8 was the book. So we have the book and the silvers in level 8. And DarkRupy going into level 2. JSR. I'm not sure where he's going to be heading now. If he's going to go probably just back into level 4 since he's right here.
Yeah, we'll definitely get that out of the way, and then I would imagine he'd screen wrap over to level 8. That seems like the play to make. Or
Absolutely.
Either that or go to 6. One of the two.
At this point, I would probably screen wrap and pick up the coast item, and we can see what that is if he can world wrap around.
Yeah, I mean, get the coast item, hit level 8, go back to level 5. I generally will do 6 last on a mixed overworld, especially since you've already got the recorder. He does have to do level 7 still.
Yes, he does.
So we'll see what he chooses for routing. DarkRupy choosing to dig the item out of level 2, which again is the wand. Give him a little bit of extra firepower, but probably not exactly what he's looking for at this point.
Agreed. But the wand wasn't terribly far into this dungeon. He's going a little bit of a different pathing than JSR did through it. So we'll see how long it takes him to get that item out of there.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain it was on the right-hand column, just a couple of rooms up. So we'll see how long it takes him to get there. Meanwhile, JSR still looking for this Triforce here in level 4.
Yeah, it might be behind a bomb wall. The magic bomb walls, they can be the death of runs and shapes here.
And I don't know, but I wonder if he picked up an item in that Chevy room or not. And if he didn't, it could possibly be a drop room. And if so, that is definitely not fun. But we are still missing a map as well, so there has to be at least 2 rooms available. And a compass. We're missing a map and a compass.
Yes. Chevy room with as low as hearts as he does and the whiz robes there, it's not a fun room to try to clear. You saw him taking a ton of damage in it. Purity, the Chevy room cannot be the Triforce. The Triforces are in their normal Triforce rooms. We've seen that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point.
But it could be the compass or the map, and either way would help out JSR right now.
Yeah, just trying to find that elusive bomb wall, unfortunately, and that is the fun of shapes. And quite upset, thinks about upping and decides not to, but you can tell he's getting a little bit frustrated with this right now.
He might have been looking at his map at that point too, to see like where he might not have bombed yet.
There it is.
There we go. He's found the path down, and boom, right into the Triforce room. He's got to feel good about that. Well, I mean, he would have felt good about it about 5 minutes ago, but
right.
He feels okay about it now. At least he's out of there. DarkRupy picking up the wand in level 2 with half a heart left. Nicely done.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna whistle. He might whistle maybe to 3 and head on over to 7. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Nope, he's gonna whistle to 2. So it looks like the play is level 8 and the coast item.
Yeah, hopefully he goes to check the coast item, because that could be, like you said, you've already got 2 hints, key and bow, and one of them's probably on the coast now, since we haven't found either one in a dungeon yet.
Yeah.
Let's see if he goes to check it out first, or if he's going to go into level 8. He just goes into level 8. That's interesting. I want to check the coast item first.
Oh, yeah, I agree there, because again, if that's the bow, you're done, right? You don't need to look for anything else in his mind.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, hopefully he finds silvers in here, but you know, if you find that book, you may or may not dig out that second item, even if you haven't got too much left. We'll see what happens though. Well, you know, I tend to agree that if you are nearly full cleared, that you should find the second item. Sometimes that frustration factor does kick in, and you're like, all right, I've wasted this much time already. I'm just gonna grab it and come back if I need to.
Yeah, I agree. I had that in my first round seed, that I had found the Triforce pretty early, but had kind of like gone in and out of level 8 for that same reason. It's like you know there's 2 items in there. You know you want to try to grab them if you can, but you also don't want to spend too much time digging in a giant dungeon for something potentially worthless.
And DarkRupy making his way back into level 1, which he will be rewarded with the raft, which is obviously something that he needs to complete to see here. Blowing through the keys pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm surprised he went that direction. I'm really surprised he went that direction. He should have remembered that going up and left would have netted him the same thing, but he's down 2 more keys now.
Yeah, walked in with 5 and is already going to be down to 2
and
from the route.
Took the wrong key door, so blowing another key to keep going into this dungeon.
Yeah, we'll see if that ends up being a problem. Again, it depending on where the magic key is, if it's the coast item, then that should be pretty much fair game for everybody. But you know, you don't want to dig level 7 or whatever for the magical key. As you know, as I said, it was a ladder block, and so far it seems like that would probably be level 7 at this point. Considering the other items we've got, it's either 6 or 7.
Yeah. DarkRupy picking up the raft, that's going to help him out. And the other item in 1 was the recorder, correct?
No, it was the red candle.
Oh, that's right, the red candle. Yes, the red candle is north on that spire on the left.
Yeah, and important to note, the JSR does find the silver arrow, so that is not going to end up being a problem.
All right.
So I'm sure he's happy to find that, because that means, okay, well, I don't even have to dig level 9 at this point. I just got to find that bow, and I'm in super go mode.
Okay, JSR going back down to the bottom end of level 8, so he's going to be in level 8 for just a little bit longer. But there was quite a bit of rooms down here. But he knows exactly what he's looking for right now, so he's just going to pop in and out. He's not really clearing anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely important to note his strategy here, that he understands Triforces are in their rooms. He doesn't need anything in particular other than maybe a staircase. In this case, he's stocking up on bombs. That's what he's doing here. But outside of that, there's nothing that he needs. So the only thing he's looking for is that Triforce room.
And a good map find for him that's going to help out a lot.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's probably going to clear the whole bottom side first.
Yeah, I would do that too. You got a better chance of trying to run into a room down there, and he's got the map now. Jam, if we could update the tracker there. DarkRupy does have the raft as well. He pulled that out of level 1. Cool. All right, so DarkRupy now going into, I believe, level 4.
Boy, that is certainly bright on his side. Yeah, must be level 4 due to the buyers being there, and I know he's nowhere near level 6. And the book for JSR, so he does find the second item in there, knowing that he can tick it off not being the bow.
And yeah, I don't think he found the Triforce room because he's still bombing around. I couldn't remember if he actually saw it or not when he was up near the silvers, because I know it's on the other island inside of the dungeon.
Yep, I believe it's on the bottom portion that sticks out on the right-hand side, if I remember correctly.
That does seem correct. So let's see if DarkRupy can find what we consider the magic bomb wall in level 4. We know JSR spent more time than he wanted in that dungeon, and that's the bane of shapes sometimes. Is that without the map, you're kind of just stabbing darkly, or stabbing into the dark and figuring out where to go.
Yeah. The other side of the coin is you spend all the time clearing the wrong portion of the dungeon because you do have a map, but in this case, it ended up running into a bomb upgrade for JSR, so now he's got both. So probably feeling pretty comfortable with 16 bomb max, getting the return on his investment for the blue Darknut room he had to clear to get there.
Yeah. So yeah, JSR now kind of realizing that, oh jeez, I might be in the wrong area.
Yeah, and do note that while he does look like he has a red ring, he in fact only has the defense of a green tunic. So he does take full damage from everything, and that's important to keep track of as you go through these dungeons, especially the Wizrogue ones. It's still anybody's game depending on how bad level 9 ends up being.
That is true. Alright, so JSR now, I can't remember if this was the staircase that led up to the upper part, but it might be. He's going back through. Yeah, it is. And
unfortunately, DarkRupy not bombing the correct wall there to find what he needs, and maybe he will, since he doesn't have a ladder yet.
Well, he's out of bombs now, so...
Oh, good point. Make it pretty difficult to find the right direction.
That is true. So JSR now... He'll be done with level 8 fairly soon. Then he has to go back into 5 that he's already been into, and then clear out 6 and 7. But hopefully, we'll find out what the coast item is after this.
Yeah, indeed. And unfortunately, I think he's going to full clear before he finds a Triforce.
Oh,
it kind of has that. Dang it! It's the one room I didn't go to. It's important to note here that DarkRupy's going back to level 3, which we know you can't do anything in without the recorder, which is in level 4.
Yep.
So while he thinks that he might be ladder blocked in level 4, in fact, the recorder is in there that he needs to get a hold of. So pretty rough on his end.
Yeah, he might have just forgotten about this. Yeah, and there he realizes.
JSR gets, I believe, bumped back into the dungeon. Oh, the frames. Rip the frames.
Alright, so I think we're going to the coast.
And it is the magical key, which means level 6 or 7 contains the bow, which is not
That's
something you
interesting.
ever want to deal with.
Yeah. So if the I guess the more interesting part of this seed could be that the Triforces are early in both dungeons, and does JSR want to dig or not? If that happens.
It's such a tough call, but with having silvers already, man, it's tough. I think I would dig. I checked 7, but then again, if you look at the reflection of 8, you see that 7 is probably just as bad as level 6.
Mhm.
So it's just one of those toss-ups that do you want to gamble? Already having silvers, I think I would still look for the bow though.
That's true, and I would probably pick level 7. You're right that the size of them are going to be comparable, but level 7 will have the Guerilla set, correct?
That is true. Instead of Wizrobes, I full-heartedly agree
So
with you there.
if that's true, then that would be for me a deciding factor on which one to dig if I was going to make that choice.
For sure, because as we know, Wizrobes are no fun.
No. Even with 10 hearts and a white sword, it's still not ideal. All right, so yeah, JSR going back into level 5. Gonna try to get that Triforce out of here.
Has done a lot of exploring, but hasn't ran into a map, a compass, or a Triforce yet.
Yeah,
So unfortunately,
neither
missing
runner has.
the 3 parts that you want.
Yeah, I believe they're both in the same dungeon, correct?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that JSR bailed because this was ladder block. So again, just compounding the problem that DarkRupy is going to have here. Gonna probably not be very happy when he finds the heart container.
No, yeah, you gotta be when you have these kind of vanilla dungeon locations and shapes. It makes it really important to find those items in the right order, or at least in not a terrible order.
Yeah, but another interesting side note is that now DarkRupy's got 12 hearts, so he's got a really high chance of getting the magical sword, which at this particular seed could make a difference.
It's true. And he still has to go out to level 6, so that's not out of the range of possibilities for him to grab it.
So JSR going to, so looks like some other portions of the dungeon that he hasn't been in. This seems to be a single part level 5, but definitely not a nice shape. That is definitely an umbrella cactus if I have ever seen one. Does find that compass though, which will help him get to where he needs to be much faster, but unfortunately has to deal with 13 HP Pulse Voice to get there.
Oh, gross. Scream into the controller.
He might be at this point. Won't do anything, but he might be. Why?
All right, yeah, DarkRupy doing some good combat in 5 as well. James getting using the combo of the wand white sword to do magic sword damage, kind of slicing and dicing through these Pulse Voice as quickly as possible.
Yeah, even with that, it still took a long time to deal with. That is, an 8 Pulse Voice room is probably worse for me than running into 6 blue Wizrobes, because it's like, well, their pattern is far more erratic, and you know, it's never fun.
All right, so James now, he did die in this Dark Nut room before, so he wasn't too far from the.
Oh, that would be interesting if he did die in the Triforce room.
Well, he died pretty close to it, but that crossing the pond there, the lake there, the river in the room. Well, he's in the Triforce room. Oh no, he had one more to go. Sorry.
Right. I keep forgetting we have Triforces in their normal rooms too. Again, I apologize. They're blended all together for me.
It did, yeah. I saw it really easy. Oh, and a death on DarkRupy's side, putting him all the way back to the beginning of 5, and he's gonna go back in.
Yeah, I didn't see for sure. You might have to cross one of the vertical river rooms to get to the portion that JSR was in.
You might. I don't know if there's going to be a bomb wall, because he did kind of do kind of a roundabout way, but there could have been a bomb wall that the runners have not done yet. JSR now goes over to level 2 and is into the forest. I wonder if he's going to burn this bush to try to get the 100 secret. Yep, there he goes.
He might be getting, perhaps try to get arrows. In case there might be a Goma block and sticks would be my thoughts.
But he already has the silver. So he needs to
good
find
point.
the bow.
Yeah, he just needs the bow. So I wonder what he's doing.
I think he might, since he has the letter, he might actually. So he picked up the 100 and the heart on the coast. He might actually try to buy a potion, since he already has the letter.
That's a good point. Not again a bad choice considering that we don't know where Red Ring is and it's been shuffled somewhere. And the other option is a blue ring, but generally potions can't be a better choice.
Yeah, well, he also just might have gone for the coast item, the coast heart, to get him up to the 11 that he's at now, and he's going into level 7. If he finds a heart, that puts him at 12. And level 6 is the last thing he's going to do, which has the magic sword right next to it. So that might be his ultimate plan, is if he stumbles across a heart container here inside of level 7, he can maybe pick up the magic sword.
Yeah, man. DarkRupy making his way to some extra areas. Unfortunately, map is ladder blocked, and he's currently out of bombs again.
Ouch.
Proving to be a real big issue, and only 2 keys. I mean, obviously remedied once he finds the ladder, but you know, that's back in level 4 to get the recorder, which is behind a bomb wall, and then to get into level 3.
Yeah. So the seed not treating DarkRupy kindly in almost every respect with the blocks. JSR is well equipped to deal with level 7 here. Picks up the heart container. There it is.
The heart, yeah. So I'm sure he's happy about that. Hopefully he will not end up with the 13 heart magical sword like I did the other night. It's still possible for these things to be shuffled up to the 14 hearts. So it's always a little bit disheartening when that happens because it's such a high probability of it being 12 or less. But
yeah,
you know, it can happen. And a compass. Yeah.
Okay.
The question is, do you take the Triforce or do you want the bow? I mean, that's an interesting conundrum he's going to have to solve here.
I say get in and out right now. You still have another level to do. You don't know what you're going to stumble across. There's no point in digging level 7 right now, but he's going to go around. He's going to search a few rooms. Maybe he'll come across it.
Taking your advice mentally, I believe, but
so
coming back...
He did an okay thing there. He just wanted to make sure that next room wasn't going to be the item room, I think. And then, he saw a 3 blocked, a completely blocked room that he'll have to waste potentially 3 bombs on. It's not worth it at that point.
Right, but coming back to the point that you had made earlier of would you rather search 7 or 6, and 6 has got Wizrobe. So, I guess maybe you hope that you run into it on the way in 6, and if not, I guess I would just go to 9 and see if I actually need it or not. And definitely, 12 heart magical sword for JSR, so he's very well equipped now.
That is going to make level 6 a lot easier for him. And yeah, we'll see if once he gets done with level 6, we'll see if the bow is in here, because I don't know how much of it DarkRupy explored, how much we saw. But we'll see if he stumbles across bow. But if he stumbles across the Triforce early, it'll be really interesting to see what he does.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
Cantaloupe, we don't know if the bow is in 6 or not. Bow is either in 6 or 7 right now, which 7 looked like it could have been a ladder block there too.
Yeah, it's such a difficult call because again, there's only a 50% chance that you need it, and so basically, it comes down to this: do you want to spend the time initially in the dungeon to find the bow, or do you want to invest that time into level 9? Where you may or may not need it, and it looks like he's going to do a little bit of digging at 6. He thought about it, but is definitely going to go look for the bow. And now he stopped, and he might just go back and get the Triforce.
Oh, okay.
I agree with this play completely. Again, I think you just go to 9 and see if you need the bow. And if you do, okay, you really haven't wasted any time because you can just whistle back to these dungeons.
Exactly, yeah. He's got the recorder. He doesn't even know if that's needed. Well, he's going back into 6 now. Okay, maybe another change of heart. I guess if you just want to fill up on hearts and is deciding, let's go search a bit. Let's go see what's up. Yeah,
I mean, it's not a bad choice, right?
Yeah,
it's just one of those. it's a 50-50 thing in your mind. Well, I may need it, I may not. It's just where do you want to invest your time?
Yeah. And yeah, DH Strom, I think, yeah, JSR has a sizable lead in this race right now. He found the key items early, and DarkRupy's just run into a few too many blocks that he hasn't been able to kind of get things going. He's been recorder blocked, ladder blocked, key blocked, bomb blocked. Nothing really going his way right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it took him roughly 10 to 15 minutes to understand that the overworld was not shuffled.
Yeah.
So he spent quite a bit of time checking out other caves that he didn't need to necessarily, and has, I believe, gone into 4 twice and unfortunately bailed, which has a bomb wall which is required to get to the recorder, and level 3 is recorder blocked and contains the ladder. And digging in 6, he finds the bow.
Oh man, you can see, if you could see his face right now, he gave the 3 fist pumps and the psych up. He is very, very happy with his decision right now. He's ready to go. Oh, he's antsy. He's ready to go into level 9. He's gonna fill up on some hearts, and that is really, really big, especially in a seed. You know, even against anybody, you got to feel a little worried when it's 50 minutes in. And the overworld caves are not shuffled, and you're just going to level 9 at 50 minutes. That can be a little worrisome.
I still don't know that I've seen anybody so excited to get the D before. But yeah, I mean, again, DarkRupy is no slouch when it comes to the combat aspects of this game. He's just struggled a little bit with understanding the flag sets. So, I mean, again, despite what you see here, do not ever count him out in a race, because he has the ability to come out of nowhere. It just so happens that he's ran into those problems that every single one of us have ran into at one point or another, where we just don't find the item we need to unlock the rest of the game.
Or at least don't find them in the right order. And you end up wasting, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes on a seed trying to find the right way.
I finally have a quote added to the list. Fantastic.
So JSR entering 9. I'm going to turn up his volume a little bit to see if I can hear Ganon. If I do hear Ganon, but he is, more than likely he's got everything he needs. So he's more than likely trying to kind of just scour for Zelda here and clear rooms potentially to get the compass.
Yeah, and again, he should remember that we saw Zelda's room in level 3, so any room is fair game.
Yep.
Which is a little bit unfortunate. Again, it changes your whole mentality of how you clear level 9, because you could just walk into the right-hand side of a room and there she is.
And why? And remind our viewers, why would that change your kind of concept of how you would route 9?
Oh, and he finds a compass.
Wow.
The reason why that's such a big deal is because if Zelda's in her room, you can only reach her from the bottom. So when you are routing your way through level 9 and you are not sure whether or not Zelda and Ganon are in their respective rooms, and there's a 50% chance of that, you want to try to make your way up vertically, because that would be the only way to locate her room via either a bomb wall, a regular door, or a shutter door.
Yes. And Zarnax, yes, we know that Zelda's not in her room because of level 3, but we were just kind of explaining if she was in her room, if we didn't know that, then the routing of level 9 may change.
Ooh.
All right, so
this will be interesting.
Well, yep. If he can bomb this wall after the Patra.
No!
Not a bomb wall. All right. So let's see if he can go around a different way.
Oh, man. Is this going to be one of those 9s?
It might be.
It's going to be one of those 9s.
Well, he's got the bombs at least to kind of make this work, but he's going to have to go around a bit.
And an old man to boot. Oh my goodness,
Ouch.
It's so frustrating. Link, I'm your father's former brother's mother, and Ganon's in his room.
Okay, that's interesting.
Is this going to be one of those scenes where Ganon's in his room and Zelda isn't? That will be awesome.
I mean, it has to be, yeah. It has to be now. We've already seen her room.
And the chances of that are so rare with randomized dungeon rooms, especially. That's amazing. And the potion paying dividends here as he gets Hyrule Drivered a couple of times, but it just doesn't matter.
And a quick Ganon takedown with that magic sword now. DarkRupy taking a death, unfortunately, too. So JSR is now trying to find his way around. I don't know if there's going to be a magic staircase that he needs to go to.
Yeah, I mean, as you stated, he's got tons of bombs. He's got the any key, so resources shouldn't be an issue for him. But
and he's got the time now.
And he's got the time, even though he doesn't know it.
Yeah. Picking up more bombs, I think.
And DarkRupy still making his way through, I believe, what is level 6.
I think actually that is level 5. Oh no, that's not 5. That's not 5. I think he's back in level 4. Actually.
4. Okay, so he's in the right spot. He needs to be here to finish the seed. It's just 1, he keeps dying, and 2, he's got to find that little bitty bomb wall. And
ooh, another death.
JSR getting really close here.
Yep, he's meandering his way.
Ganon required.
There it is. Ganon required. JSR finishing up this race in first place.
Yeah,
with official time. Go ahead.
Oh, go for it.
Oh, official time, SRL time, 56:02. Nice race.
Fantastic race, and even got the 5 rupee to pay the girl on the way out. Unfortunately, DarkRupy just now finding that recorder.
There it is.
It is nice that he finally found it, but unfortunately, it's a little bit too late. But congratulations here to JSR. Fantastic race by him. Again, shuffled HP, not always the greatest thing. Just managed to find the items that he needed in the correct order and made that gamble in level 6, and it paid off.
Yeah. And we have JSR2Gamers in the channel with us. Welcome, sir.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Great. Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
That was a much better night than last time. That's for sure.
All right. So, right off the bat, let's hear your thoughts overall. I mean, you just said it was better than last time. Speaking of your race against Digshake, but give us your thoughts overall on this seed. What do you think?
Well, I was surprised. I shouldn't say surprised. I guess I was. It was quick to find out that it was vanilla levels. I was like, okay. Once I realized that 4 and 5 are ladder blocked, I was like, I gotta find the ladder. So first, because I knew it was going to be an easy enemy set at a small level to dig. And when I found the ladder, I was like, all right, 8's next. Let's knock out 8. Let's see if we can't find the silvers in the bow just to be safe. And we found the silvers, and I was like, I couldn't believe my luck that I was able to come across those, because I mean, you know how it is when you don't find them, and you end up going into 9. I mean, I don't know if Ganon was required or not, but
had he been, that could have been really bad.
Yeah, Ganon was required. But you entered the room and the shutter door did open.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so if I hadn't found them, really made for a trolley 9, because I would have gone all over the place looking for the silvers. So I mean, and then I thought about it when I found those quick Triforces in 7 and 6. I toyed with the idea of heading to 9. I was like, okay, 50-50 shot. Zelda's going to be available. It'd be better to dig 6 and 7, even though 7 had an easier enemy set, just because I was there already and it was less rooms, excuse me. And I was going to go to 8. I didn't want to go back to 7. 7's so big, and I got lucky. So I mean, I'm really not sure where DarkRupy is at this point, but I just didn't want to risk.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he finally just got. As you finished, he got the recorder out of 4. He's ran into a few issues. He didn't understand that the overworld wasn't shuffled to begin with, so he was searching some extra caves, but also unfortunately did not have bombs as he just entered the Triforce Room in 3, so unable to progress to get the ladder.
Yeah, he's run into quite a few blocks early on, so he had a little bit of a later start on kind of digging the dungeons before you did, and then yeah, just ran into bomb blocks and key blocks and recorder blocks and ladder blocks, just like you did, but to a much larger extent.
And tell us, JSR, just how excited were you to get the
I was a little excited when I got the bow. I ain't gonna lie. I always have the worst luck when I gamble in randomizer. Like, ask anybody who's watched me in the daily races that we do every day. 9 times out of 10, I've got a full cleared overworld, and the one thing I need, I find at the last second after I've dug every level. That kind of luck is rare for me, and to get that was exciting, especially in a race that matters. So I was pretty pumped, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, we saw the excitement. Me and Adagino saw the excitement going on when that was picked up. A huge find and a really lucky dig on the correct dungeons. I can't say that it's something that I would have done, but you made the right choice in digging 6 or 7.
What would you guys have done, just out of curiosity?
Well, we were having that discussion, and at least for me, you know, with the 50% chance that it's required, right? I would have just gone to 9 to find if Zelda's required first, which in this case obviously would have been a horrible decision, but you know, playing the odds of, okay, do I want to invest time in level 6 and level 7, or do I want to invest that in level 9 and find what will guarantee me to be useful information versus possibly wasting time in a dungeon?
Yeah, and I kind of agreed with that. And on top of it, you said it before, but I might have dug 7 with the easier enemy set before digging 6, even though you are right there. But I think I would have taken the gamble, and it would have not paid off as well.
I was this close. I paused there for a second, and I was this close to going to 9. And I think if I had an opponent, made me feel a little more urgency. And I mean, I don't mean that in any disrespect to DarkRupy or anybody else, but or you know, somebody with a lot of randomizer experience who can handle themselves in combat, that I knew I had to be on my horse. I would have gambled there, and it would have bit me in the butt. And I'm glad I didn't.
DarkRupy getting the ladder now finally too.
That's a good point. Yeah, DarkRupy digging 3, getting the ladder. Now he can make his way over to the coast, hopefully, and then back. Well, he's already picked up everything in level 8, but I think he's going towards the coast to get the any key now, and that'll pretty much set him off on this race. Just unfortunately too late to have everything he basically needs to complete and get through.
Yeah,
his blocks.
And again, DarkRupy is no slouch. I mean, he hasn't played a lot of randomizer recently, but his combat is definitely sound. And will be a very formidable opponent in the O2 round. Don't get that wrong. It just seems like he might need to study the flags a little bit more to understand what the possibilities are, because this is the second time in a race now that it has cost him a exuberant amount of time due to not fully understanding how flags can possibly work.
Yeah. And I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't done I didn't do a ton of races with this flag set, and I'm not sure how many DarkRupy participated in either. But these things can trip even the best of runners up.
Well, I'll let you guys finish up real quick. I just wanted to thank you guys for the commentary, Jam for the restream.
Definitely, but before you go, what are your thoughts on this? What is going to be an extremely stacked 1-1 group?
Man, it's insane, dude. And I mean, there's more people that could end up in the 1-1 group. I mean, Random, you and Jay Coper are facing off this round, and one of you guys is going to be 1-1. I mean, this is insane. This tournament is getting hype, and I'm glad I was able to get the dub this week, and I'm glad I'm in that group, and I hope I can at least get into the big race, if nothing else, because this tournament's like awesome, man. I'm so happy to be here.
That is true. Yeah, this is going to be. We still got plenty more weeks of exciting Zelda 1 randomizer to go.
Yeah, this just the beginning of the second week. This just being our 4th match, so we've still got 18 matches to go this week, and then 44 more to go in just the Swiss group stage over the next couple of weeks. So be sure to check out the schedule, as I'm sure somebody will pop that up in the chat again, and see what we've got going on. We'll have pretty much every day and several different hour sets too, as we've got some early morning due to our European friends across the sea, and some late night for us night owls. So a little bit of stuff for everybody.
It's true. All right, so thanks, JSR, and again, congratulations on the win, and we will see you in round 3.
Thanks a lot, you guys, and also good game to DarkRupy. I don't want to overstay my welcome, but if you guys could pass that on, that I want to thank him for the race, and I wish him the best of luck in the rest of his run.
Will do.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, you guys.
See ya. All right, so DarkRupy back into level 5 now.
This has to be level 8.
I thought I saw.
Oh wait, no, we have pallet.
5.
Oh man, this is bleeding.
Yeah.
We have pallet swaps this time around. So yes, you're right. This is level 5.
This is level 5.
Oh man, I just need to be done for the evening. I think it's too much.
So he is going to pick up. I believe he's already found the item in here. I thought.
Yes, it was the heart container.
That's right.
And finds that compass, so he should be heading right to the right direction.
Okay.
But yeah, fantastic race by JSR. Sure, it feels good to get that win after the last race, which was pretty darn close and just had some unfortunate mishaps that cost him the race. So well done on his part to get through this in at sub-hour at that. I mean, not easy to do with shapes and mixed HP.
It's true. Yeah, even with the caves not randomized, you can still hit all sorts of inconveniences, as we've seen. All right, so DarkRupy making his way up. Hopefully he can get by. Yep, okay, perfect. Getting through the dark nuts, and he shouldn't be on his way to the Triforce right away. Finding all the ladder blocks that he found before.
Yeah, unfortunately this time he's able to buzz right through them. It's the worst feeling in the world to get such a late ladder. When you get it around that 1 hour mark, you always, even if your opponent's not finished, you have to think, especially in a bigger race, well, there's at least somebody who's gotten a ladder by now, just by law of probability. And it's just that it's a horrible sinking feeling, especially when you need to revisit 4 dungeons to finish them.
Yeah, agreed. It's just that's the we've seen him inside of level 4, level 5, level 6, and most of level 8 without the ladder, and so that can be very challenging. And I mean, you never know where it's going to be. And JSR, made I think a bit of a tougher choice, like really sticking it out in 4 as long as he could, rather than try to kind of go through those bigger dungeons that DarkRupy decided to visit earlier. Yeah,
it's always a difficult choice because again, it's random. Pretty much until you find that first item, so you don't know if your time is worth it. But again, as you were saying, with the bigger dungeons, especially when you have not as great of equipment, it's generally not a great idea, especially if you don't have 0 HP enemies. Now, if it's 0 HP, it's a little bit of a different story, as you're not going to really waste a lot of time, and the gamble can pay off in dividends. But it just becomes, sometimes it's just hard, and you'll get into a mentality too, right? Where it's like, and I don't mean that I'm not picking on him, but referencing Ampharos, right? Like, he was absolutely bound and determined to go finish level 7. And honestly, for the most part, that's usually not the right play to do, to dump 20 minutes into a dungeon. But it just so happened that was the item, and it turned out to be the hero play. And so sometimes those pay off, but if it doesn't, it leaves you in such a deficit, and it's super, super hard to come back unless your opponent makes some really big mistake.
Yeah, and that's the nature of Randomizer. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. You don't know. I mean, with these flags, sometimes you'll know where things are, but in most of the seeds we've seen, the items have been at least shuffled around. So, you never know what's the correct play. overall. So now DarkRupy picking up the map here in level 4. Finally, I think this is the first time we've actually seen level 4 because JSR did not pick this up.
That is a nasty level 4, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, that is not nice. It's super linear, which is, again, why it's so difficult to find the item. And I mean, it's on the base level here. It's just, you got to go bomb the right spot, and it's so tough without a map.
Yeah, that's very linear, disconnected as well. Yeah, that's not a fun level 4. But this will help him out immensely in finding the Triforce in here.
Yeah, it looks like he needs. Actually, it's not the base level. It looks like he needs to go to the top section, and then it's towards the bottom there. Which, unfortunately, you have to clear this blue wizard room out of. And again, to prove the point that you were making, right? JSR cleared that blue wizard room twice to make the right play to go get the ladder. And if he hadn't done that, we might still be looking at both players still playing right now.
Yeah, the recorder, you mean?
Yeah, the recorder. I'm sorry. Yeah, to get the ladder.
Yeah. All right, so he's got at least he picked up a 1 bomb upgrade, so he's got some bombs going on, and using them quite nicely on the wizards gets through.
As long as, oh no.
Oh, I just saw it.
As long as he doesn't get beamed coming out of the stairs, we'll be all right. But
yeah, it's not a friendly room to come into.
Yeah, it's almost unfair. It's just as bad as Blue Land Mole is, because it's just like there's almost no reaction time to that.
Yeah, that was almost instantaneous.
It blows a potion charge, and I can't say that I blame him.
Yeah, if he's gonna have to clear this wizard room again, and then he knows what he's getting into, can't blame that. All right.
I think killing these guys out of spite now. Can't say that I blame him.
Okay, so where the bomb wall was south of where he is now.
Well, he's already got the item out of here, right? So
maybe he forgot that he got the item. Yeah, I think he may have forgotten. Yeah, you've seen so many dungeons, you've gone through so many rooms.
Yeah, he's looking for the Triforce. I'm sorry, it's not the item he's trying to find. It's the Triforce, which is down on that bomb wall. Yeah, and he's clearing this room again. I think not putting together that. Well, he gets the compass, so I guess that works. But I mean, now at this point that you have a map, it's almost a moot point. Maybe
he's only got a few more rooms to go through. Either way, and there we go.
All right, so just 6 and 7 left for him now.
And it'll be interesting if he. I mean, he's dug every dungeon at this point now too. And you never know his pathing in level 6 if he's going to come across the bow. But it'll be an interesting decision for him too if he kind of hightails it out of both and does what we would have done. Had we been playing the seed.
I have to think that he's not going to, just from his play pattern.
Yeah, I agree that he's already dug every dungeon right now. And he really has no since his opponent has already finished up, he kind of has no pressure to kind of hightail it. He can kind of take his time at this point.
Yeah, that was the point that I was going to bring up that you just said. And I mean, at this point, you have to think that he's looked at IRC and knows that JSR is already finished. So, why take the risk of going into 9 to just have to turn around and leave? So you might as well just check each dungeon and get the bow. Got the Gorilla lag room.
Oh, jeez. And they go down like butter.
Yeah. Nice that they die quick, but that is not a fun room to deal with elsewise.
And I believe this was on the path to the Triforce very quickly. I think he's going to find it here very soon. So I think JSR explored a little bit more in the right side, but this was where I think the Triforce was over in this area.
Yeah, the compass is on the way, and then the Triforce is just a couple of rooms over.
Yep, and there's the compass for him, and yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he checks 7. Obviously, if you're going with the idea that I'm going to check dungeons, like we were talking about before, this is the one you do first.
Yeah, with that bomb, he might be doing it.
Might be doing it later, yeah.
He's dropping a lot of bombs to try to open up some rooms.
And he froze as the bomb goes off, so I don't know if he got one.
I
Doesn't
can't
look
see
like
either.
it.
No,
Oh
he's
man, that's
leaving.
unfortunate. I mean, it's fortunate because the bow's in 6, right? But like,
Yeah.
this is the 3rd or 4th time he's not had bombs in a dungeon to complete it too. It just.
Well, I mean, for what we know, and he should know this too, that 6 has whiz robes, so he has some dropping enemies. He's got the whiz robes and he's got the Vires inside of level 6 that will help him get bomb drops.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, he had to go back into 4. He had to go back into 3.
Mm-hmm.
You could attribute to a lot of his time problems to that too. And
yeah, he's had some bomb issues all throughout this seed, unfortunately.
yeah, that is by far the worst. And he gets a bomb drop and it's going to head back into 7, which again,
Back
I can't
into
say
7.
I disagree.
Yeah. He knows the bow is still in one of these 2 dungeons. And Jam, if you want to update the tracker, he does have Triforce 4 on the tracker.
It is nice to know that our restreamer is still awake. I know it's getting late for him, and he's been up for a while. Sometimes
Yes.
it can be rough when these matches go a little bit longer than anticipated, but definitely give him a follow and a big thank you in chat for sticking it out.
Yeah, and he does have Triforce 7 as well. He does, because he's going back into 7 trying to find this item. And an interesting thing to see, and I guess I didn't realize it, that nobody picked up the Armos item, which would have been the power bracelet, correct?
That's a fantastic point.
We kind of skipped over that. We knew that the coast was the key, right? The any key, the magic
yeah.
key, and nobody actually checked. I mean, it didn't matter because everybody checked JSR got what his item was out of 6 that he needed, so he didn't really need to check anymore.
Dr. J says that man, I can't.
Oh, DarkRupy got the bracelet. Okay.
Yeah, but
I guess.
Again, we know that that's not a big deal, and unfortunately,
Oh,
he might be meat blocked out of the item in 7 also.
He runs into the Hungry Gorilla in level 7.
Oh, that's brutal. And it looks like he's going to backtrack to go buy the meat, too.
Yeah, I guess he's committed to getting this item out.
Yeah, I mean, so to go back to our conversation before, if I were to run into that and I hadn't purchased meat yet, I would be going to 6.
Yeah, I agree. But cheap meat here, and it's right outside level 7. It's not too much out of the way for him.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate. Maybe he'll get the red ring, which would be a nice find to get through the rest of this seed for him.
That's true. So we didn't find the red ring. We didn't find. Did we find either boomerang? I think we found one boomerang, didn't we? I thought JSR had seen one of the boomerangs, but maybe I'm mistaken.
I believe so. Let me check here. I wrote down everything. So
the book and the silvers were an 8. 1 had the red candle and the recorder. 2 had the wand. 3 had the ladder. 4 had the recorder. Oh, sorry, 4 had the recorder. What did 1 have?
Raft and red candle.
5 had the heart container. 6 had the bow. Yeah, so we actually have both boomerangs still open with the red ring. Yeah,
fantastic. So he's got a 33% chance to get something good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like getting a visit from TGA, and nobody wants that.
That would be really funny to have both bananas in level 9. I don't know if I've ever. I don't know if I've seen it.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially when you don't know it's that way, and you're just gonna like, okay, well, I could have gotten that easy item, but oh well. But it's terrible when it's like you're in the like the Ultima flags, right? And you're looking for the silvers because they're mixed.
Yeah.
And there's both bananas, and you're like, okay, well, it's back in level 6.
Ooh, and we got a Goma with a double block room.
Oh no, please. Say it ain't so! Say it ain't so!
Not like this!
Oh man, every block imaginable possible. Oh, that would
We'll
just
see if that's the room.
gold.
This could be a bow blocked item in here, and he could be searching 7.
Well, at
for
that
a
point, he
while.
knows the bow's in 6, or you would have to think he does.
Well, I mean, that could not be the item. He could run into the. It might not be the item there. I don't know if he's found a staircase in here yet. And yeah. That could be a bow blocked banana.
Yeah, I mean, again, it could be somewhere else, but if it is there, he's got, once he full clears 7 to figure that out, he's like, well, it's got to be in 6. But
yeah.
hopefully this is the item. Let's hope.
Oh yeah, here we go. Okay.
And no such luck. Let's hope it comes out in the Goma.
It might come out in the Goma.
Oh, never mind. So it looks like we have a segmented 7 that goes to a whole lot of nowhere.
Ouch.
You should be able to bomb left, perhaps? Nope, this is a whole lot of nowhere.
And he's using up all his bombs. I don't think you can bomb to the right there. You're pretty far to the right on the map.
I was going to say, if you invert the level 8 map, oh shoot, literally, oh shoot.
Oh gosh, he was on the other. He was just on the other side of this. Or he was in that room before.
Oh, this 7 is horrible.
Ew.
We would definitely have made a horrible choice.
Well, I mean, also, I guess I don't know. If me and I saw exactly what I did right here, I would be out of 7 at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about the level 8 map, it shouldn't be segmented other than maybe a singular room, due to the fact that 7 kind of snaked its way through level 8. And again, I don't know if he knows that, but a tip for anybody who ends up racing shapes: level 8 and level 7 are mirror imaged. So if you get the map for one, you can do your best to take a mental snapshot, and you should have at least a vague idea of how the other dungeon looks.
So what do you mean by mirror imaged?
So 7 and 8 are on the same page, right?
Yes.
So if you find the map for level 8, it's going to take up those squares on that piece of paper.
So you mean like
the exact opposite of it? It's going to be all the black spots minus any blank rooms or staircases.
Yeah. So you mean like the kind of the negative image in a way?
Yes.
That's how I would describe it. Okay. That is a good point. It's something that I in the back of my mind I know about, but I'm not paying enough attention to really have it help me usually during runs.
Yeah, and again, that's contingent on finding a map in 7 or 8, which is fairly
True.
rare. And then you got to remember it, and then you got to find the dungeon, and there's so many factors that make it not useful. But
and then you find the Triforce, 4 rooms into level 7.
Right.
It doesn't even matter.
Right. So it's a niche type of thing, but it's something to keep in the back of your mind if you're racing these flags that could potentially help you preserve bombs. Which again, he's using bombs in all the wrong spaces, and if he's right up against the edge of level 8 here, is why that's not working.
Yeah.
If only we could do that. If Fred would let us transition to a new dungeon. Unfortunately, you can't do that due to the way that Triforces work, and you would never be able to pick up a Triforce in 8 if you entered through 7. Since whatever dungeon you enter is the Triforce it thinks that you pick up. Would be cool though.
Yeah.
Staircase in level 8 takes you to level 3, and then that's the only way to get to level 5. Yeah, whole new.
And if we could figure out if we could figure out how to kind of get a glitch to manipulate that, that would really open up the regular game run as well. Just don't even have to really go on the overworld too much. Just
Yeah,
stay in the dungeons.
it would be interesting, but unfortunately, we have found no easy way to,
Yeah.
or no way at all, actually, to make our way between dungeons. Which, again, with the way the game's programmed, it wouldn't actually do any use for Triforces. But if you could find your way into an easy ladder room or something like that, then it's gonna be a big deal.
Yeah. So DarkRupy using his last bomb does have at least a couple more rooms to go into. But that Goma room is more than likely the item. Get some bombs though.
Get some bombs, but I think we're kind of on the path.
He's gonna use up 3 of them for nothing. Yeah.
I think we have a freaking bow block.
Me too.
So bad. Like you can't help but laugh. You can't make this stuff up.
No. Well, he
does get more bombs.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he does get over to one more room. He might have already been in this room, though. We'll see.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's meat block not required. Well, that's encouraging.
Yeah, he could have gone around. So yeah, I think he's realizing now that. Oh, geez. I am bow blocked, and the bow is in the last dungeon that I haven't done.
Yeah, that's horrible. Yeah, we'd have been in trouble. Like, wow. Like, and you can't predict that either, right?
No.
It's just, you have to make on-the-fly decisions in order, and you're either right or you're wrong. And I know it seems really simple, right? It's you're right or you're wrong, and if you're wrong, you've probably thrown the race.
Yeah. Okay, so now
on to level 6.
He should be on to level 6.
After the fairy fountain.
Yeah, that's not a bad refill.
Okay, yes. Okay, he was just looking for bombs. I'm like, please don't farm rupees for arrows. Because it won't do you any good because you've already got silvers.
And no bow.
Yeah, so it looks like he's going to utilize the any roads, which should be in their normal locations, to get up towards level 6. Fantastic idea to up an A here and do that.
Yeah. Especially since I don't know how well I haven't seen a screen scroll out of him, so because I know he went up into level 5, so I'm not sure how well his screen scrolls are, if he does them at all. So yeah, scrolling over from level 7 into level 6 can be very tricky. And if you don't scroll in, you got to go through the dead woods, and so that can take a long time.
Yeah, he can screen scroll a little bit, but doesn't generally try to. But he does utilize a cool trick. A lot of people already know it, but in case you don't, you can go to a fairy fountain and you can up A, and it will refill your life. So you can utilize that at different locations. If, say, perhaps level 9's near your start screen, you can go to a fairy fountain, grab the life, up A, and have full life heading into level 9.
Yeah, and that's even more important when you have a ton of hearts like DarkRupy has, because that would be from the 3 or 2 hearts that he was at, would take 5 to 10 seconds to fill up, and I've seen races decided by 5 to 10 seconds. So utilizing those seconds really nicely on that up and A can be the difference.
Yeah, and Amazing Toaster, to respond to what you're saying, I fully agree. Again, Random and I are both players, so we both understand the difficulty that's involved when making those decisions while playing, and hopefully nobody thinks that we're being condescending or anything like that. It's just, at least for me, I'm trying to be objective as a commentator to what's going on.
Absolutely, yeah. I think 8gen had said this earlier. That. When you're in the middle of a race, these decisions have to be made a lot quicker, and you're thinking about so many things at the same time. DarkRupy got the Triforce, but then left level 6.
Of all dungeons to bail, it's the one and he has to know the bow's in there.
Well, if he if he doesn't, some people that play the randomizer don't understand that there are certain items that cannot be in level 9. There are 5 items that the way the randomizer is programmed, in order to kind of have logical, to not have any weird blocks and to make it easier, there's 5 items that cannot be inside of level 9, and those are the recorder, the power bracelet, the ladder, the bow, and the raft, because those all usually let you through dungeons and let you access dungeons. And he's going into level 9 without the bow.
Yeah, and then it's unfortunate. And again, you don't know what we know, and maybe he's just making that gamble because he doesn't want to check level 6.
That's true, and he's been playing for an hour. JSR has been done for half an hour. He might, with as many blocks as he's found, I would feel maybe the same way if I just want this done. Like, let's just go in and see what happens.
Unfortunately, it doesn't do you any good in a 2-person race, but in a group race, if you're watching IRC, you can metagame just a little bit, depending on where you're at and who finishes and how they finish in comparison, and perhaps that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and Zarnax brings up a good point. Like he probably can't fathom how JSR won so fast with the bow and the Ganon kill, figuring out all the blocks that he ran into. So he might be thinking that, well, with as fast as I saw JSR finish, maybe Ganon's not required.
Yeah, and that's not a bad assumption either, because this seed's been pretty bad. It just so happens that JSR was super stubborn in level 4 and checked level 6.
And stubborn enough in level 6.
Yeah, I mean, 2 things that, I think that even he wouldn't normally do, and it turned out that it paid off. So it's sometimes difficult to gauge it that way, but unfortunately, he's going to find out that Ganon's required when he does find her room, and she's in kind of an odd spot, I think, too. So it might take a little bit.
Yeah, he's actually, I don't think, terribly far. If he goes the south and right, I think that's in this area where she was. So this might be the door here. I can't remember. We'll see.
To get to Zelda, you had to go up to the right-hand side over through not an old man room, but it was definitely, I think, one way from the right.
But with the JSR came at it from the right, but I'm not sure if there was a way. I didn't get a close look on the room if there was multiple entrances to the room. I don't think there was, actually.
I don't remember seeing one, but it's late for me and I can't remember things, so don't trust my opinion.
You're probably right that there is only one access point through the old man.
Yeah, I mean, so to go back to what you're talking about, how people may not understand that important items can't be in 9. There is a flag set called Mass Hysteria, and starting in the elimination round, it will be possible it might be possible for important items to be in 9 the way that it works, I think, depending on if you get, like, for instance, the wand blocks the entrance to level 9, it could still have a bow. So that type of flag does exist, but for these particular flags, they aren't there.
Yes.
But again, it's just one of those things. If you haven't taken the time to study exactly what flags you're on, and you just think it's a full random %, then you would think that that's available. So.
Oh wait, no, that doesn't help him out. I was like, wait a minute. I usually see that because usually I'm digging for the silvers in 9. And you see that hit, and you're like, oh gosh, I gotta get out of dodge. He already has the silvers, never mind. He's looking for the other component. But he just did find the silvers lie elsewhere hint. Usually a good hint to find.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm actually thinking that we might be on full helpful hints. That one cave might just perhaps be one of the community things by itself, because I haven't seen another mixed hint yet. So I think
neither have I.
Helpful hints.
And it doesn't look like any of the hints were actually kind of like shuffled around the dungeons either, if I recalled right. They were all, like level 5 had the hint for where level 6 was, and level 2 had the hint for level 3.
When I can remember.
If only that hint referred to the bow, dragon darts, yeah, of course.
Yeah, you never get the hint you want, right? You go in and you buy the heart container is across the water, and shoot an arrow to get the heart container, and you know you get all the hints that you already know or don't
Yeah.
need, or they're super unhelpful. And he's found Zelda's room from the top.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So there was another door, and he does now know
Yeah.
that she is required.
Yep.
So,
and so let's
he's
see if
pausing
he.
and thinking.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got to be. He's got to be going back to 6 now. He's got all the information.
Please don't search 9. Oh no.
Yeah, he might. He might just. I mean, I don't know what's going through his head. If he does think that truly think that the bow's in here, or if he's just sort of getting sort of frustrated or not completely understanding the flag set of now Zelda or Ganon is absolutely required. I don't know if he's going to be thinking that there might be another way in there or something like that.
Or hopefully it's what Dragon Dork has said in chat.
Yeah.
He's just looking for Ganon so that he knocks 2 birds out while he's in here. But
That's a good point.
I really hope that that's the case, because 9, again, last time he raced, did not have a forced Ganon, and unfortunately the only way to get into Zelda was a bomb wall, and he was looking for a shutter door the entire time. Even after he had killed Ganon, he had the compass and went to all 4 sides of the room before realizing that he could bomb in.
I think I do remember that because I was commentating on that, I believe.
Oh, were you? Man, it's been like 4 days and I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I was the other person on that race. I think yeah, you were with me on that one.
Yes. All right. So yeah, he's just inside of the menu here. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing, what he's thinking. Might be mapping out level 9 a little bit now. I'm not sure what kind of maps he's using. If he does use a Z helper, or if he uses like a paper thing. He might be just mapping this out a little bit, since 9 can be very, very tricky to navigate, especially with, look at this, he's already found 5 stairs. You know, you want to be if he is finding Ganon, he wants to know where he is.
Yeah, and yeah. So I just assume that's what he's doing. He's trying to find the path to Ganon. I'm trying to remember how JSR got to him. I seem to feel like he ran into him pretty quick.
Yeah, I think there was a more direct path. There was at most 1 staircase that JSR went down, and there's still a few rooms that. So if you look at the map next time that DarkRupy brings it up, there's a room that's open as you walk up through the 3rd room up. There's a door open, and I think JSR went through there and then went left because he was blocked from Zelda from the bottom, and he had to do this roundabout way to get around. And I believe he was blocked at that one room and then started making his way left, and then he ran into Ganon around there.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, not finding a bomb wall here. Down to 1 bomb again.
And I'm surprised, like, that he's bombing so much when he does have a room that he can utilize. Like, if you look on the map, there's 1 room that's open, and I guess for me, I wouldn't be bombing so many walls and using up all my bombs when I still have a path that doesn't use bombs. Especially in level 9, where you can go through bombs like crazy. So now he might be going to that. Oh, I guess he did bomb into that room. So he just came about it from a different way. He bombed into the room that I said that was open from the bottom. And there we go. Now he finds 2 more paths up. Maybe this is the way JSR went.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. Again, that he's just looking for Ganon. But again, knowing that you need the bow and that it should be in 6. It almost seems like a super waste to try to find the path to Ganon at this point.
Yeah, because you're gonna find him, and then you gotta leave and go back to him. Whereas,
Yeah.
you know, if you just go and get the bow and then find him, you found him. You don't have to backtrack anymore. Yeah, he's found a lot of staircases, and we still have not found the boomerang. Oh, and now he's in Patra's wingspan.
Yeah, and good point is we're not even finding the items in here to help deduce that the bow's not in here if that's what he's thinking.
If that's what he's thinking, yeah.
Yeah, and it could be super unfortunate to be both boomerangs, which would just be terrible.
So he's checking his map again. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does when either he finds Ganon or he finds both items. I mean, he finds both items. He pretty much has to leave. All right, finding 2 more bomb walls that open up a bit more of the dungeon for him.
Yeah, and finding some key doors as well, which is always nice, because any key means that that's no longer a resource you have to worry about. And unfortunately for him, the bomb walls have not been nice at all, and which a lot of the times it happens in Shapes 9. Without the map, it sometimes makes it really difficult to utilize your bombs correctly because you never know where you're at in relation to the dead rooms, and it just seems like there's not a lot of bomb walls sometimes to begin with.
That's true.
At least for me, I'll go through 18 bombs and find nothing, and then it's the one I didn't check.
Yeah, but he's found a lot of sort of the exterior of the dungeon. You normally don't want to be bombing that too much.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes you're already going to run into the edge of the dungeon regardless, and then sometimes you'll find that those in Shapes, those empty rooms will be on the side as well. So yeah, he's just he's taking his time, kind of weighing his options. Maybe I'm not sure exactly what he's thinking right now. If he's going to keep digging.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he seems pretty committed to exploring the dungeon.
Yeah.
Again, I hope for his sake that we run into some items soon, and he's over here. This was close to Ganon.
Ganon is south, yeah. So I hear Ganon, and Ganon is right south. So he has found the path to Ganon.
And has to up A. He has no bombs and no bow. So yeah.
So this will be the interesting part. Does he stay, or does he go? He's going back in.
Okay, so he has to think that the bow can be in 9.
Yeah, he has to think that.
Super, super unfortunate.
That's the only reason. Yeah, that's the only reason that he's still in here right now. So I think this just comes down to. I mean, he's played the randomizer enough, but he's played different flags more often, I think, and so it might just be the unfamiliarity with this particular flag set that he might not understand that the bow still can't be in level 9 right now. So if that's the case, then we need to find some boomerangs quickly. And unfortunately for DarkRupy too, if that's his mindset, we haven't found anything except for just stairs. And Ganon and Zelda. But just stairs that lead to more stairs.
Yeah. super unfortunate. I mean, again, we know it's 2 boomerangs and a red ring, so man, you gotta hope that he gets a red ring to help him not die as often.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, that's literally the best case scenario for him
That-
right now.
That would be. Oh, that's right. I keep saying 2 boomerangs, but I can't. I forget that level 7 had an item behind the Goma, so we're not exactly sure.
Right, but yeah, worst case scenario, it's 2 boomerangs. I mean, that's the meme at this point. And he does find the other way to Zelda.
Okay, yeah, that's the way that JSR went.
Finds the way underneath there. There was no door, I don't believe, but he's been to all the same places JSR was, and I don't know that he ever found anything really that went anywhere else either. So
yeah, well, this could be something. I don't think JSR cleared this.
At this point, you gotta hope it's a staircase, because otherwise, where are you going? I mean, an item would be nice, but
Yeah.
What's he missing to get to the rest of the dungeon?
True. And he's already bombed a lot in here. Ooh, and it's nothing.
Fine. Well, he does find 2 bomb walls to rooms he's already been in.
Okay.
So not very helpful.
And that just comes to knowing your map too. I think I don't know. I mean, never know what's going through his head, but he's bombing walls in the rooms he's already been.
He does take a key door down that he hasn't been to, but
okay.
Yeah, again, you're an hour 45 in, and at this point, you're in that what the heck mode. I mean, I've been there. You start getting frustrated, panicking maybe a little bit. Your opponent, if you're paying attention to IRC, has been done almost an hour at this point. So props to him for finishing this out, because at this point,
for sure.
If I don't know where the bow is, I'm probably not finishing this out. It gets too frustrating for me.
True. Yeah, we got to give credit where credit's due on that one. That he is determined to finish this.
And I'm trying to remember where Ganon's room was. Right? I think it was like
Ganon is I think Ganon's above him. You can hear Ganon's roar is right now, so Ganon is directly above him.
Okay, so that really doesn't block any rooms. I was gonna say, I wonder if it's one of those cases where to actually access any of the rest of 9, you have to go through Ganon's room. That is a possibility.
It is a possibility. Yeah, he's bombed a lot. He's found a lot of staircases, and nice push block.
Thank goodness for block clips.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he could go left or go right here and go right again. He does.
Yeah, he does have an opening to there that might open up something. He's got to see it. Like it's a little tick mark there. He does have a room to the right. There he goes.
And I mean, I can't talk because last night I had a 26-minute level 9, and I had 2 rooms I needed to check to go find the way to Ganon, and it took me forever, even though I looked at my map 40 times. And even when I went into the right room, it didn't click that I was in the right room, because I'm looking at my map, but not necessarily processing it the way that I need to. And this is he finds the red ring.
Yep, and the map.
And the map. And
2 big finds in that room.
That's a crazy level 9 too, the way that's configured in the top corner there.
Yeah. So he's in an area that doesn't really open up too many options for him.
I mean, at least he knows where to try to bomb now, which is good.
That will help.
I somehow think, though, he's bombed just about every one of these walls. It could really be the case that to access the rest of the dungeon, you either have to be able to go through Ganon or Zelda's room. I mean, that is a possibility if those rooms are not required to actually beat the seed.
Yeah.
But it looks like he actually has a door here that he did not clear out the room to go up in. So
True.
Looks like he can access the upper portion. I mean, I've had a seed before where the item was on the other side of Zelda, but it was the red ring and it wasn't required. And if the logic's not going to say, well, the red ring's got to be where you could get to it, as long as you can complete the seed.
Ooh, and a nasty Chevy room Wizrobe death in the upper part. That's going to set him back a few minutes at least, because there was a staircase, and I'm not sure exactly where that staircase was that led him up there.
I'm not.
I think it was just to the left. It was like the center. center bottom of the dungeon here.
You just gotta feel bad for him because he's still got to go back to 6. And the boat wasn't far in 6, but you know, you've cleared every other dungeon up to 6, and then choose to do 9 anyway. I mean, after you find, I don't know. I mean, again, if you think the boat could be a 9, it makes sense. Which again, if you make it to that next elimination round, that's something that you have to think about, right? It's if Wand is blocking 9, for example, the bow can be a 9.
Yeah.
You know, and if that flag's ticked, and again, that doesn't apply now, but you know, you've got to, again, just thinking about this tournament and just kind of having something else to talk about here for a few minutes. You know, you've got to understand the flags you're playing with, and you can't just get complacent playing these flags, right? Because if you make it to that next round, all of a sudden you've got, you know, it's only 5 or 6 new options.
Yeah.
But they completely change the dynamic of the game, especially with level 9, because all of a sudden level 9 is the most important thing on the map for you to find outside of maybe the sword, because
Yep.
you know, while 9 cannot be specifically open anymore, it may not be Triforces, so you may spend all the time looking for that triangle on level 6 when all you needed was the book out of level 1 to access level 9.
Yeah.
So, and you know, then if you know, obviously level 9 can never, or the bow can't ever be in level 9 if the bow is required to open 9 and things like that. But it just, you have to all of a sudden put in a whole different gear of thinking. But when you get into level 9, you still have to think like you're doing now, where, well, it's still 50-50 that Ganon's required, and you know, Ganon may or may not be in his room, so Zelda may or may not be. It's just a whole new can of worms, and I think that's just what this tournament's kind of showcasing, is how well can you adapt to on-the-fly situations, much more than anything else. You know, it's not like the last tournament where you're like, okay, well, I know for certain the white sword's out of the overworld, at least in the beginning round, right? So I don't have to worry about that. You know, I know that this is required. I know this is required. So it just...
And we got no shapes, so I know the dungeon layouts. In the old tournament last year, we had non-shapes. And so... well, I say we. I actually didn't participate in that one, but I watched it for sure.
And it's way different, right? I mean,
it's a very different feel, and it's a very, very different way of navigating through the seeds.
So we got DarkRupy. He got to the top corner. Unfortunately, not finding anything of use.
Yeah. I can't remember. I mean, yeah, he's already been everywhere up in this area, and I think he definitely tried to bomb in this room. I'm not sure if he can actually access the other areas of the dungeon.
I feel like you got to go. And how did he enter Ganon's room? Was it from the top?
He entered from the top, and you can enter it from the bottom as well.
Yeah, so I mean, again, I'd have to see the room and where it's at to be for certain, but it certainly feels like either he's just missed a staircase, or you have to go through Ganon's room to get to the rest of the dungeon. Which
it's looking more and more like the latter.
Staircase. Maybe he hasn't been in this one. Let's see.
I didn't pick up the key. I don't remember him defeating Lion Molas.
We have new areas.
All right.
And I mean, with the red ring and the magical sword at this point, obviously Wizrobes are no contest. And actually, this is not a new area. He has been north of here.
Or maybe he can bomb out of here that he hasn't done. He can bomb south. He's not trying it. Maybe he's going to try to bomb north. Okay. Well, getting 2 fairies for his trouble on clearing those rooms. But he takes the stairs, which he's already gone through. He bombed open a wall.
Yeah.
He knows he's been... Yeah, maybe he just forgot that he had been through here. He's already explored everything over here. I think he's just marking... I mean, he might be marking it on his map, whatever map he's using.
Yeah, you know... while it may seem like he's wasting a lot of time, right? It is very important to note that if some of us don't track 9, right? But if you need to track 9, take the time to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to cost you less time to take the 3 seconds than it's going to cost when you mess up a staircase and can't figure out where to go. You know, Yoshi wasn't tracking when he was playing, and you know, after the race, he said, "You know what? The one thing I pulled from this is to make sure I use my tracker all the time, because if you don't mark where you've been and you can't remember it, then you are going to waste a ton of time doing things you've already done over and over and over again, and there's just no way to improve if you're always doing that."
Yeah. All right, so that bomb wall did lead to, I believe, more access.
Gels guard the compass. Thank you, old man. You're super helpful. Why don't you just say go to the next room? That would make much better sense.
And it would have been a very helpful hint. Since Zelda's right there.
Yeah.
All right, so has he been up into this? I don't believe
so.
I can't remember. I can't look at his map right now.
New staircase.
Oh, okay.
Please be one of the
booms.
it has to be one of the bananas, but please be.
I think so too.
There it is. It's the blue boomerang in level 9.
Bluey.
At this point, he's got to be either scratching his head or banging his head on the desk. One of the two.
So hi ho, back to 6 we go.
Yeah, and hopefully he pops out that recorder and just ties the toot over there, since it will take him to level 6 regardless.
Yeah, he might fill up on the heart. Do the heart fill. Well, maybe not.
Well, did he
maybe.
not get an item in another dungeon?
So in 7 he didn't actually get out of 7 because he doesn't have the bow, and we think that it's bow blocked. So hopefully he goes back to 6 before he starts bombing in 7 for for a room that he might not have.
Oh no, he's going back to 4, which had the recorder. And this is why it is super important that you track one way or another.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's just forgotten.
It seems so.
Yeah, it has to be. And however you can do it. I know my system of tracking is very much tailored to me. Like if somebody else saw it, they wouldn't know what the heck was going on. But any way that you can do it to make sure you understand. I don't actually mark which items are in dungeons. I just mark that I at least got the items out of dungeons, whatever they may be.
Yeah, I mean, I use 1 or 2 letter connotations to tell me what I got. So it's not like I put a lot in there. I just like to remember what I got where. And a lot of that is because it saves me a menu, I guess, to try to see what I've picked up. You know, so if I've got the recorder and the power bracelet, I haven't got the ladder, I know I need the ladder or whatnot. But everybody has their own form of tracking, and that is perfectly fine. Just have a way to track, and please use it so that you don't run into problems. Because I remember when I did track, and life was miserable.
Yeah. That was actually one thing that I did fairly early on, because I had seen the Z Helper, and I'd seen a lot of people using it. It was a very good program, but it was slow for me. I can write a lot faster than I can click through all the options on the Z Helper, so that's why I do physical things right now. But I was tracking from day 1, and it has helped from day 1.
Yeah, I agree with you on the computer portion, especially playing on a console, right?
Yes, exactly.
When you play on an emulator, and you could just have Z Helper popped up right next to you. Now, you know, I worked with Jam and Quest with the layout a little bit, and Quest has been talking to me in my chat and about some other things. He's working on version 5 of his Z Helper, and I believe he's putting hotkey support into it. So it could become
Okay.
much easier to actually start using that. And if I could just press a button, right, to get what I need instead of clicking through 6 or 7 times, that could be something that other people would pick up. I'll probably stick with what I use because I've done it and it works. But you know, it's something that's coming up soon that might be helpful for other people.
Yeah. All right, so he's already definitely been down here, so he's just... I don't know if he's just going to full clear 4 again. Trying to find something to complete this. And he's trying to clip into here, but he's got to give it a bit more of a reset on the clip before you can do that. Or you can just take out the land mole. And yep, now he knows. Oh, I picked up the item in here.
Unfortunate that he. It's good that he found the item room, but unfortunate that he's already got the item, right?
Yeah. So now he's more than likely thinking, okay, where do I go next? Where didn't I pick up something? I mean, level 6 was the last dungeon he did before level 9. So it wasn't like it was super early on. But he didn't explore a lot of 6 either, which also maybe was a tip. You know, it could be a tip in his mind.
Yeah, I mean, again, he went into 6 early, right? So
he went into 6 early on the game, but then got out of dodge pretty quickly, and then did the rest of what he needed to do, and then he went back to 6, which is last dungeon before 9.
Yeah, so having been in there early, I wonder if he thinks he maybe already got the item.
Maybe, yeah, maybe he's mixed up his items. Yeah, cheap safe springing it up. I've done it before too, where even on my system, I've marked a kind of an item wrong, you know, unfortunately, and I thought that I'd picked up an item in one place and I hadn't.
Yeah,
So
that's
now he
horrible.
is going back into level 6 though, so.
All right. He will be rewarded with the bow once he finds it, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that he will be happy to get that under his belt and get this seat over with. It is interesting to note that 2 out of the 3 races today, the silver arrows were not in level 9, which is quite against the statistics that have been happening lately.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Did you know out of the all the round 1 races, like what was the percentage of
yes,
being inside 9?
Yeah, I could talk about some of that because I haven't entered any of the round 2 stuff yet. So let me pull that up since we got a little bit of time to chat. It was 76.19% of the time that the silvers were in levels 9, which was 16 out of the 21 matches that we had, and 3 of those it was not forced in 9. So interesting there, but yeah, super prevalent. I mean, it's again always the right gamble, and you know the matches that we've seen is be like, well, that's just the dumbest thing ever because you know the silvers are there, but you know if you look at the numbers, you know if you're gonna play the gamble game, it makes a lot more sense to go to 9 just because again you're not even just talking about silvers being available in 9. You're talking about there's the 50% chance that you don't even need them to begin with.
True.
So while that is such a high number, it really honestly, if you take the non-Ganon requirement into factor, that becomes much higher.
Yeah, and there is a community hint as well. You'll shoot your eye out.
Okay, so we do have mixed hints.
I guess it was mixed, yeah, but just maybe not as mixed as you would think.
Or we just didn't see them. I don't know. That's kind of odd.
We just didn't see the other ones. We only saw a bunch of the helpful ones. Okay, this maybe it's here. All right.
Yeah, and it could be that the hint shop had 5 community hints, and we just saw the only one, and JSR bought the right one. So
yeah. Okay. So DarkRupy 100%ing in the randomizer here, gets the item he needs, And hopefully he's, mapped out level 9. He was in there enough, and if he mapped it out, this could be a very, very quick ending.
I really hope that he mapped 9.
I mean, he was in there long enough, and he looked at his map long enough. Even if he didn't actually map it out, I think he still has an idea in his head, like, where to go.
And also, since it's a very hot topic of debate, the 0 HP enemy flag was on 11 of the 10 times. So we had one race which was between.
Wait a minute, 11 out of the 10 times.
Sorry, 11 out of the 21 times.
Okay, I like those odds.
I meant to say, right. I was thinking, 10 other times they weren't.
Yeah.
And obviously we didn't have the race between the Seawolf and Putz, which will come up later. But so it's basically right at 50%, which is kind of what we thought, right? It's been right at 50%. The anomaly is that we've only had normal HP twice, and randomized HP 8 times. So the one that's super rare is getting normal HP, which is, to me is kind of interesting because you would think that it would at least be a 25% chance, right? Because there's the chance that the 0 HP is off, and there's the chance that the randomized HP is off. But
yeah,
it's not turning out to be the case.
So here we go. He heard Ganon. So Ganon must be, he's got to go left and then down to get to Ganon here because he couldn't bomb in. So it was my mistake. I thought he was below Ganon before. He was actually to the right of Ganon before, but he couldn't bomb in. So he did have the right pass. Here we go. And he's got the sword, and so the magic sword. So it's only 4 hits, I believe. Ganon was normal HP. He's got the red ring now, which is super helpful. Oh, and down to half a heart. Clutch ending. Got the Ganon kill.
Definitely clutch. Would have really sucked to take a death there.
Yeah. The red ring pulling dividends here. And he's got to go around, but he should know this.
Yeah.
He's been on this path before. He goes all the way around. Yep.
Avoids the FU beam and is going to make his way into the girl. Hopefully he doesn't die to the fire.
No. And there we go.
Good game. He still has not officially finished. Oh, wait, never
Yeah,
mind. I'm in the wrong room.
He did.
With a time of 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 20 seconds. And the comment, always ladder block.
Always ladder blocked, never lucky. He didn't say never lucky, but he's got to be feeling that way after this race. So yeah, GG's in the chat for DarkRupy, a trooper in this seed for sure. And DarkRupy, we do have a DarkRupy in the voice channel here.
Hey DarkRupy, how you doing, man?
Well, we see a DarkRupy name, but we do not hear a DarkRupy. No, he might just be resetting. He's left.
But DarkRupy speaks, and no one's there to hear it. Does he actually?
Oh, DarkRupy, are you there?
Oh.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool.
All right, congratulations on getting through that Mucho Blocko seed there.
Oh man.
It's just it was a tough seed, even with the the overworld not being shuffled. There was still quite a bit of blockage going on, more so than the kind of the normal items that you would need.
Good guy to call it a high cholesterol seed.
I call it I'm not sure if I'm gonna do random tournament after this one.
So
see.
The question I have for you is, did you think the bow was in level 9?
Yes, I did. That's why I went to level 9.
Okay. Well, it's important to note that with these flag sets, it is impossible to have any important items in level 9. Which
for the Swiss
you can
round.
never have the bow. Right, for the Swiss route.
Oh.
You can never have the bow, recorder, power bracelet, or any of that inside of level 9. These are not full random flags. There are a few that have been shut off,
Okay.
and that happens to just be one of them.
Yeah, well, that was unfortunate. And then most of the dungeons was like 4 of the dungeons I went to early were all leather blocks.
Yeah, there was.
And then there's another dungeon I went. Yeah. Then another dungeon, it was like 2 rooms blocked by recorder.
Yeah, level
Yeah.
3 had an early recorder block in there.
So,
And yeah, it was also, you know, the item that really opened up the seed was buried behind a bomb wall in level 4.
yeah.
And it did, you know, it did take JSR quite a bit of time and effort to find that bomb wall as well. But he, you know, he seemed to go to that and stick through level 4 a bit earlier than you did, going through the other dungeons, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just randomizers, all I can really say.
Just randomizer. It happens.
Yeah.
So, HM, did you have any other questions? I know you asked about the bow, which was a good question to bring up.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing that really seemed to plague you was, as more than anything, you kept running out of bombs, which was unfortunately, again, like Random was stating, you needed to find that particular wall in level 4, and I think the map was behind a ladder block, so you couldn't actually get the map. So finding that particular room was for the Triforce. I'm sorry, for the Triforce in 4 was a little bit difficult, and then you had to find the recorder there in 4 to get the ladder out of 3, and then you went in there and found the Triforce room, but you didn't have any bombs to progress, so you had to go out and get bombs, and it just, unfortunately, that seemed to keep happening, and it cost you a lot of time because you didn't have bombs at the points that you needed to have them.
Yeah. I noticed that too. Like for the first 20 minutes or so, I had like constant 8 bombs. But then once I got to level 4, I was like, oh, no bombs. So I have to go to a different dungeon.
Yeah, and another key block there would be the key blocks early on too. I think both you and JSR found level 1 unfortunately had a lot of key rooms early on, and the any key was ladder blocks. There's this cycle of blockage that was just kind of halting progress for a while.
Yeah. It tends to happen when ladder is like really far deep in the randomizer.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least usually when I have problems it's because ladder is so far away to get.
Yeah, when ladders are early on in the seed, it can really open it up. But when you got them deep into a dungeon that's blocked by another, that's blocked by bombs, it just it can. That's where time usually separates between the runners.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, it's randomizer, so that's what randomizer is known for.
It is. Well, you still do have 2 more matches coming up in the next weeks. Is there anything you're hoping for in the next in the next 2 races?
The only thing I could say I would really be excited for is if ladder is first item or something.
I can't say I blame you.
Yeah, so if ladder's first item, then I'll be happy. or if any key is first item, I'll be happy. But
yeah. All right, well, we'll put that out there into the universe in the upcoming matches. But you're still not down and out, if I do recall right. There is some 2-2 possibilities, and 2-2 can move on.
Yeah.
So.
Well. Luckily, that's being my favor for that to happen, which hasn't seemed to be going my way as of late.
Yeah, it's always in the randomizer. The luck, you gotta have the skills, but you gotta have a little luck.
Yeah, my first race, Zelda was Ganon wasn't required, and I needed a bomb to get inside Zelda's room. And then the second one, everything is ladder blocks, which is behind Recorder, which is behind the bomb. So I guess I have to wait and see what the third randomizer will be.
So what you're saying is you want a boomstick?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it'd be nice, but it has been in any other randoms or mines as of late. But we'll see.
All right. Well, if HN doesn't have any more questions, I think we might wrap up tonight's races with this. And I do want to say that JSR, after he got done and with his post-game interview, he wanted to thank you for the race, DarkRupy. And I'm sure all of our viewers are going to be thanking you for the race as well. And what do we got? What do we got coming up, HN? Do you have a schedule in front of you?
I do. Tomorrow there's only 2 races currently scheduled, but one will be at 2 p.m. Eastern, and you won't want to miss it because it's going to be Fred Coughlin, our wondrous creator, versus Amazing Ampharos.
Oh, wow.
One of those Titan-esque games. One of them will be 2-0, one will be 1-1, so either group will be safe. And then coming up at 10 p.m., it doesn't look like we have a restreamer for either of these yet, so if you're available, be sure to sign up. We will have Johan Howitzer versus the Seawolf, which again should be a fantastic race, as Johan Howitzer, while he doesn't, he's never been in our races and such. He, again, last randomizer tournament was quite good at randomizer and showed that in his last race as well. So that should be a pretty tight race. And we'll have commentary from Isolated 999 and LOZ Cards fan for that one. So those are the only 2 right now. There could be more that pop up as we still only have about half the matches scheduled. So be sure to check that schedule link for what's going on.
Yeah, keep up to date on that. We'll be updated when we have more information. But I think for now, I'm sure Jam may need a power nap from all this, all the randomizer action tonight. So thank you again, DarkRupy, for the race and the commentary.
Indeed.
For the interview here coming in, and we do appreciate it. And good luck in the upcoming races. And HN, thanks for hanging out with me on the commentary.
Yeah, man, thanks for filling in again. It's always nice to have somebody right across from me, because these are difficult to do by yourself.
For sure. And thank you to JamEviler for the restream here, and all the restreams that he's involved in. Has been really nice.
Yep.
All right. So I think that's going to do it for us tonight, unless Jam's going to do something on his channel. I don't think he is. But
you might take a picture of him sleeping and stick it up, but I think that'll be about it. But again, thanks to everybody for sticking around so late again. And again, thanks to Jam for doing this. I know he has long days, long nights, long mornings, and he troops it out for us to get these things restreamed. So be sure to hit him a follow both of our racers, follow my co-commentator. Yes. And we will see you all tomorrow for some more races.
Thank you very much. Take care, guys.